Brisbane and Australia has a huge opportunity ahead with the 2032 Olympic and Paralympic Games. But with that opportunity comes a responsibility to plan well, to plan transparency and to plan with the people who live with the outcomes and the infrastructure long after the closing ceremony. We don't have to look far to understand what happens when Olympic planning goes wrong. Images of abandoned venues around the world are haunting reminders. Vast structures built at enormous expense now rusting and empty. In Beijing, the iconic bird's nest dazzled during the Games but has struggled ever since and is largely unused. Athens had little in the way of legacy planning and many of its venues slipped almost immediately into disuse and disrepair. Even here in Australia, Sydney's own Olympic Park offers lessons. Despite the excitement and the civic pride of the 2000 Games, planning for post-Games was inadequate, and it was heavily car-dependent destination from the outset. These shortcomings weren't inevitable. They were the result of decisions made without deep community engagement or long-term vision. But there are positive examples too. London's planning for the 2012 Games shows what's possible when you start early, listen carefully and think long-term. Their Games drove major regeneration, accelerated a citywide transformation that was already underway and engaged best practice, environmentally sustainable development. Barcelona did the same for 1992, investing the majority of its funds not in sport but in lasting improvements to the city, successfully integrating a mega event into long-term urban policy and planning. This led to a sustained economic and cultural benefits for the local community. There are already concerning signs that Brisbane may be missing the opportunity, not just to host a great Games, but to improve the city for decades. Brisbane's initial commitment to host the world's first climate-positive Olympic Games has been quietly watered down already, with the phrase climate positive removed from the contract and replaced with softer language. Experts and designers have warned that without strong oversight, Brisbane risks falling into the same traps other host cities have faced: poor planning, design compromises and infrastructure that creates more problems than it solves. There is a real opportunity here to invest in infrastructure that works for the Games and continue serving local people well after 2032, both in Brisbane and around Australia, to invest in sustainable mass transport, including zero-emission buses and electric ferries, to create better walking and cycling links, especially for those first and last miles, to convert the Athletes' Village into social and affordable housing after the Games that is so desperately needed, and of course to make sure small and medium local businesses benefit too. This isn't just about Brisbane either. If we're serious about creating a lasting Olympic legacy, we need long-term planning across all our key sporting venues nationwide. The Sydney Academy of Sport in Narrabeen and my electorate of Mackellar, as an example, offers immense potential to be a world-class facility for team accommodation, training and competition across a multitude of sports, from athletics, swimming, rowing, basketball and even sailing. This enormous site on the outskirts of Sydney has huge potential but remains run down and underutilised. If we get the planning right, the legacy lasts. If we don't, we risk repeating mistakes that other cities and our own have already lived through. And that's why meaningful engagement is absolutely essential. The Queensland Government must genuinely engage with Brisbane residents, with local community groups and with experts in planning, architecture, sustainability and transport. The Australian Institute of Architects has put forward a comprehensive set of recommendations for the government, highlighting risks but also offering solutions. One of their key suggestions is the creation of an Olympics Design Integrity Panel. It's common sense and the kind of expert oversight that we should welcome. So I welcome the member for Ryan's motion and I support her call for the Queensland Government to engage openly, to listen to the experts and genuinely involve Brisbane communities in the planning for 2032. Thank you.